Hello there, lovely good afternoon, and welcome to the Lunchtime Cafe right here on Camnet TV. My name is Joe Smarter, and thank you so much to you all that have decided to tune in this particular afternoon. Be rest assured that we're going to have a productive conversation with my guest, Honorable Ritual Camnet. He is the former Defense Minister. Honorable, good to see you and welcome.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me at this important discourse.
Okay, Honorable, it is a Monday and we are starting on a high note, seeing that we are coming from Sunday. Let's begin with the church. Now, there is a screaming headline in one of the daily tabloids, which is attributed to an opposition political party leader who says the church, and he has named a certain church. I don't want to mention it here, but it's there in the Daily Nation, a daily tabloid. He says, this political leader says, the church, and he has named this particular church, cannot forgive HH or the UPND. Now, what I want to find out from you, Honorable, as a seasoned politician, how should the relationship between the church and government be?
Thank you very much. I think it's very unfortunate that there is an exchange of words between the government and the church. In my view, as things are supposed to be, the church and the government are supposed to be collaborating.
Okay.
Because the church is serving the same people, the government is serving. The church is taking the dimension of spiritual, and the government is the aspect of economic and social well-being of society.
Okay.
So these are supposed to work together so that the church, they are able to contribute the spiritual aspect, the discipline aspect of society, and so that the society live in harmony, in unity, and in love. So the government itself, because the church has built a foundation, then the government comes in now, okay, to bring about economic and social improvement of society. Now, they must be working together, okay? They must find, in order to move forward, they must find an interface. They must create that interface so that they are working together for the society to thrive.
Okay.
Otherwise, if they are living in the way things are, as from if you have to take the entrances that have come in and what is appearing in the media, in the public domain, it appears that there is that difference between the church and the government, which is not good.
Okay. So this opposition political party leader is PF faction vice president, and I'm talking about Honorable Given Luwinda, who has been quoted in the Daily Nation with a screaming headline, Honorable, saying, HH can't apologize to Catholics. Given Luwinda says it is a waste of time to ask President Hakainde Hichilema to apologize to the Catholic Church for the insults and abuse the priests and bishops have been subjected to by the UPND zealots, including Batuke Imenda and Max Moyo. Obviously, Batuke Imenda, that's the UPND Secretary General, and Max Moyo, he is the UPND consultant. Now, over the weekend, again, Honorable, we had some utterances from a clergyman from the Catholic Church, also talking about the challenges that the people are going through, and he made reference again to what he called Ulutoshi. And this clip has gone viral. Honorable, you interact with a lot of people, both those that are in the church, those that do not want to affiliate themselves to any church, and those that are in Lusaka and also Southern Province. But let me find out from you, what is the way?
Province, and the whole country, actually.
And the whole country, because you travel a lot.
The whole country.
Because you travel a lot,
yes.
Honorable.
Yeah.
But let me find out overview. What is the word on the ground, Honorable? How is the living conditions of the Zambian ordinary citizen out there? Is the church saying the right things, the response that we're getting from government, and you as a citizen, Honorable, what is really obtaining on the ground from an ordinary citizen's perspective?
Well, the truth must be told. I don't want to embellish anything here to live in a cosmetic kind of life where you see things happen in the way they happen and you want to pretend as though things are right. Things are not correct in terms of the livelihood of our people, the living standards of the Zambian people, and the cost of living itself has gone high. Okay? And the issues of a business itself is very difficult. Companies are not making money because people are not buying, because people have no means of income. And as a result, they are not buying. Meaning that business entities, individuals, they have all suffered because the economy is not performing. Because the economy performs means that there is a lot of transaction, there is a lot of exchanges. But exchanges right now, as we speak, has gone down.
Are you then suggesting, Honorable, that there's no money in circulation?
If a business is not thriving, meaning that there is no money in circulation, because who brings money? Is those, there are those exchanges. When people are able to exchange goods and services at a high level, which means that means that they will be affluent. There will be current going on, meaning that money will be circulating without any blockage at all. But right now is that there is a blockage somewhere. Money is not able to move the way it's supposed to move. And hence the economy is suffering. Because what makes the economy thriving is when people are able to exchange. People are able to go to the market and buy what they want at any time that they want. At a price that is affordable. Now, when there are such movement of people and movement of goods and movement of money, then you find that the economy is thriving. That's all. It's a simple thing. It's not, you don't need to go to theories, start reading the economic books and what.
It's not rocket science.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
No, it doesn't work like that. When people are not able to exchange amongst themselves, that means the economy is suffering.
Okay.
Because for economy to be thriving, then there must be a lot of business activities or exchange activities that is happening between people to people.
Now, Honorable, you talked about the church also serves the same people that any successful government presides on, right?
Yes.
So, when the church speaks, does that mean it's speaking for the majority Zambians, and to bring it closer, for its own congregants? Because you are saying the church and government preside over the same people. The same people that go to political rallies are the same people that go to church on Saturday and Sunday. So when the church speaks, it's only speaking the language of its congregants.
Correct.
Okay.
Because they may be conveying, okay, the information from the congregants for those in authority to make actions.
Okay.
Okay? So that is how I understand. Okay? Now, the only maybe difference that other people may take it, because there are two things.
Okay.
The one who relays the information and the one who receives.
Okay.
It's not only how you relay the information. The one who receives the information may interpret it in the other way, or may be injured. It depends the perception of that person. But if somebody wants to understand, you say, okay, fine, okay, let's get the information. Let's not take anything negative out of this. Let's take positive and act on what he has said. So you take the information, disregard everything else, even the expression.
Okay.
Because what makes the information sometimes bad is the expression. How the way I express myself when I'm delivering the information. The information may be good, but how I delivered it may be wrong. But it also depends on the one who is the recipient of that information. How he is going to react after the information has been given. It's also important. So those who are in government, those who are presiding over public affairs, they must at all time develop thick skin.
Okay, just on that one, Honorable, a question comes in. Why then have we seen tendencies of people being too emotive and always putting on political lenses, even when it comes to matters of national development? Individuals want to be emotional.
If you are emotional, get out of government. That's not the right place for you.
Just like that.
Go into a public life. Because a private life is that no one will look at what you are doing. But when you are in a public office, you are on the spotlight. Everyone looks up to you. Even what you say, they will have to make sure that they interrogate it, because that is a public office. So if you have that short-temperedness, you have emotional, you have all these, that the public office is not your office. Find something else to do, which involves not in the public affairs. For that's the way it is.
Okay.
You must accommodate insults. Even when you are a leader, you must accommodate insults. You must accommodate everything else, because you are dealing with individuals that have different thinking, different mind, different all these things. You must accommodate them and give room for everyone. Even give room for fools.
Okay. To express themselves.
Yes, you give room.
Okay.
That's the way it is. That's the public office. Because you are a leader, and you being a leader, you are presiding over different thinking, different mind, different thoughts of any kind. So all those thoughts now will come in, missiles will come in from this direction, this direction. Then what do you do as a leader? Develop that thick skin. So that so much so that you are going to accommodate them. So because otherwise, if you are not careful, you want to listen and act every utterance that is coming from the public, they might divert your program. You may be disturbed. It's like a football player. You go in the pitch and listen to what the people are saying outside. Then you are diverted. You become confused. So your deliverables will be affected. And when your deliverables are affected, then the coach next time will not feature you. You'll be on the bench or completely eliminated from the whole system, because you can't. Because because it starts from the mental.
Okay.
If your mental become impaired or disturbed, then even your physical expression, unfoldment will be affected. That means your deliverables will be affected. And then if you are involved in a public office, that means that you are not going to discharge your duties in the manner that is desired. And if it's not desired by those people who put you in the office, then they will call for your dismissal. So that is how it is, because you are judged by the deliverables. So make sure that you look at all issues that will make you deliver. And one of that is just to remove that emotional aspect. Those reactions, short-temperedness, all these things, anger, bitterness, all those things that can cause you not to perform accordingly. You dismiss them, you remove them, expel them out of your mind. Okay? Exterminate them, whatever way that is goes to. So that they are not part of you, because they will disturb you.
And Honorable, I'm asking these questions like this because you were a cabinet minister, you were a member of parliament, you have tasted power, you know what it is to be in that particular seat, in the driving seat, overseeing a ministry. Honorable, it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. This is why I'm asking these questions the way I'm asking them, because you have been there and you know how it is. Now, Honorable, let's come to one of the issues that hit us over the weekend as Zambian citizens. Unconfirmed reports suggest that the Energy Regulation Board chairman, Dr. Reynolds Woa, has been fired. That's number one. Number two, the Director General as well has been sent on forced leave. We haven't gotten correspondence from government confirming that, but in one of the daily tabloids today, there's a headline that reads that he has responded, him, the former board chair saying that he's enjoying life with his friends. We are yet to get that confirmation from government, but we haven't had that confirmation. But unconfirmed reports suggest that DG is on forced leave. The board chair has been let go. Honorable, what is the best way to deal with the issues that are going around in the energy sector? Does it mean that the ERB board chair and the DG have been made to be sacrificial lambs in this case, from the look of things?
Well, although coming from that background where I held offices of that nature, I'm very reluctant to talk about an confirmed report. Okay. Now, unless if it is confirmed, however, I'll speak in general.
Okay. But maybe what I wanted from you, Honorable, it's good that you have put it like that, unconfirmed reports. But maybe what I wanted from you is that how is the appointment and dismissal of a board chair and a director general done, if in a ministry, for instance? Let me find out from you.
Well, the board itself, of course, is appointed in the ministry set up by the minister. The minister appoints the board, of course, in consultation with the power that be, or maybe the president and others gets involved, and they appoint the board. And then the board itself does appoint the chief executive or director general or whoever upon looking at the applications and so on and so forth. Then they sit, the board sits to decide who will be the chief executive. And then the chief executive there, and with the management, he has to put in the management and so on and so on. All those key posts, of course, the board has to take part. There are those key management positions the board has to take part into in choosing. Now, later on, those others, then the management itself does choose who will work in whatever portfolio those lower ranks. So that is how it is done. Then, in terms of dismissing again, the board again has to sit, looking at whether somebody has not performed or there are certain violation that has been done, and then the board has to decide that this particular individual who we chose as a director general or any other position that is in executive position requires that we relieve his or her duty. So that is how it is done. So the board has to make a decision, then the minister has to make a decision, and so or in the state of a company, the shareholders. They have to choose who should be the chairperson of that stakeholders, who will be a chairperson of the board, and then they choose the board. So that is how it is done. From the stakeholders or shareholders, if in a company setup, but in government setup is that the government itself is a shareholder in those companies. They are the owners, and then they choose who should be the chairman, and then from that board, then they choose an executive a person who will be taking day-to-day affairs of the organization.
Honorable, I was asking this because I'm drawing your mind to the energy sector. It was a preparation that we look at the energy sector. Now, we have seen tariff hikes coming from ZESCO, the power utility company. On top of that, we have also seen load shedding, whose schedule, and I have to hasten to mention this, is not being followed. We are told 8 hours, but it's going up to 12 hours. We have experienced that, some of us where are coming from. Now, Honorable, let me begin to find out from you. Tariff hike, let's begin from there. How does it sit with you, seeing that there's load shedding and economic challenges right now being faced by the majority Zambians?
These increase and fuels as well as electricity, it will add more misery on the road already suffering majority.
Okay.
Why do I say so? That most of our goods and services depend on these two important ingredients in terms of the economic emancipation, because they're very, very important in terms of thriving economy. For an economy to thrive, you need fuel, you need electricity. So already we are talking about an economy that is already on oxygen.
Okay.
Okay. Now, that means the economy is not performing as it's supposed to perform. Hence, the suffering of the majority. Now, again, you have electricity tariffs that will be increased.
They have been increased.
Yes, okay, that
First
has been
May.
increased. Or that has been increased.
Yes.
Then that means that goods and services will automatically go up.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
It's
If
automatic.
I'm selling, yes, if I'm selling something that requires electricity, that means that it's part of my cost now has gone up. Now, what do I do? In order to make a bit of profit, I will transfer those costs to a consumer.
Okay.
Who is a consumer now? The person who is like you and me and any other person is a consumer in one way or another. Even when you are producing goods, you are a consumer somewhere else. So, meaning that the general perspective that the prices of commodity will go up, goods and services will go up, and then when they go up, it means that already people are not able to pay at the level where we are, it was before. Now, meaning that putting more misery now on the suffering majority. I think they must realize.
Okay.
It's not a small matter. It's not a government issue. It's a national issue which we need to talk about it, and we need to find solutions. Because otherwise there is a hunger out there. There is a hunger out there. There is untold hunger. People are living without a meal. Maybe they are living one meal a day. And now you have again, which will increase the prices of cooking oil, the prices of beans, the prices, because you need for beans to be transported from Nakonde to Livingston, to Mungu, to Chipata. It will need transportation. And transportation will need fuel. And fuel has been increased, meaning that it will, carpenter has been increased. And everything else that we talk about will go up.
Now, Honorable, when you talk about transportation, there in on our roads lie toll gates. And toll gate fee or toll fees were increased. Not now, but they were increased. So it means there has been an increase on toll fees, number one. Number two, fuel has been increased. Number three, electricity tariffs have been increased. Honorable, some stakeholders are calling for an emergency economic endeavor to address the country's challenges. Do you subscribe to that?
I think that move is correct. It will help those in government. Okay? Let us not pretend that things are all right. Things are not okay. And the people that gave us the mandate, they are the ones who are saying, they are the ones who are suffering. So if we pretend and say things are okay, it will not be good for those who are in position. And this is a truth.
Okay.
When we speak like this, we love this government. We love. We want them to find ways and means to say, look, let's abandon everything else, those costs that we have as government. Let's look at the issue that is at stake now, which is fuel and our livelihood. That means I'm talking about our staple food. Let's look at these issues that hinges directly on the well-being of a human being.
Okay.
And let's see how we can alleviate their suffering. although those who are in government, the effect may not be felt because they are salaried, they have everything.
But that's taxpayers' money, Honorable. That's taxpayers' money.
That is it. And also, not only that, even those who are in government, which means that their tax base will shrink. Okay? The money that they are supposed to collect will shrink. And that means that the government will not collect money as supposed to collect for those to fund the sector that needs money also to thrive.
Okay.
Or social sector. So these are things that we need to, because it borders on the economy. So if there are other people who has ways, because any economy, it requires human capital. It requires thinking. Let those who are in the government say that they have the monopoly of wisdom. That's one thing that we in Zambia here. Zambia is for all people. It's for all of us. Even when you are in government, you need the voices, you need the ideas of those who are not in government.
This is why my producers chose you, Honorable, to come to this particular interview, because you have been there. When you are in government, don't lose your thought, Honorable. When you are in government, you are a minister, you are a president, you are whichever portfolio you hold. Do people realize that this power is temporal, Honorable, as you continue on your line of thought?
I will be very genuine with that. You know, you see, people when they get into, or when they grab the instrument of power,
yes, sir.
When they have, I don't think they have the mind of saying tomorrow I will be out.
Okay.
It's completely out. Because if they do, they would have changed the system that they condemned when they were outside.
I need you to repeat that, Honorable. I need you to repeat that. When people get into government,
yes. When people get into government, they forget that they will be at some point, at an appointed time, somewhere in the near future, they will be out of government.
Okay.
And they will be ordinary person like myself now. Okay? Now if they do think that they will be out of government, if they have that sense, within their depth of their being, if there is that mind that tomorrow I may be
out of office,
it would have been an opportunity for them now to change the system that they condemned when they were out, when they were not in government. So that is why I'm saying that. Because why I'm saying that, you see, I like to speak from an objective point of view.
Please, Honorable, please.
Because I was in government. And I saw my friends. And at some point, even in my own mind, you know, you as a human being, sometimes you are tempted to do, then you have to check yourself. What I want to do, is it right or wrong? Is it good for another human being? If it's not good, then you do what is good for all people. Now, what happens that when they get into government, I have heard sentiments. Somebody was seated next to me that will be there, PF will be there 2019 or 2050. I heard those things.
Oh, those are sessions, yes.
Yes. And today, they are out.
They're in opposition.
They're in opposition. Okay? And again, I have heard right now, and sometimes I laugh, even when I'm alone, I hear somebody saying, I always laugh.
The same sentiments under this administration.
The same sentiment that was there.
2019 again has come back.
Again, those who are in government now, they are saying 2019. And those in the senior positions, they are buying that kind of sentiment from the praise singers.
Do politicians learn? Or you are now an ordinary citizen Do
You see, I am
politicians learn, Honorable?
I will speak here. You see, right now, you know, I am a businessman, but
Yes.
I still have that political.
You have political friends. You interact with them.
No, I know that political mind is still there.
Okay.
That's why I speak sometimes the way I speak.
Like a politician.
Yes, like a politician. So
So
sometimes I speak as a businessman. Sometimes
as a politician.
Yes.
Okay, so let me tap into your political side. Do politicians learn, Honorable?
the majority don't learn.
Okay.
The majority don't learn. If they would have been doing things that they talked about when they were. So when they get there, they are saying, no, let's not change this law. You remember, sir, if you change this law, you know, there are ministers, those who speak to the president. Okay. There are ministers who speak to the, no, if we, sir, we change this Public Order Act, and how are we going to perform on this and this? So let's keep it so that we disadvantage, so that we can have another 10. And you see, then leaders buy that kind of maneuver. These same laws, you understand? These same laws that we are talking about right now, that is making those government department, government agencies, those are not making them operate independent. Those who were in government before, they had a chance to make sure that these, which hinges on the democracy flourishing, they must be checked, okay, and put in system that guards against. Now, because it was protecting you when you were in government and you ignored it because it was good for you. Now you are out. You are out.
It's working against you.
It's working against you.
Okay.
You understand? And start complaining.
Okay.
That's why sometimes myself, because in certain laws I was there, I just watched, I said, I made a very big blunder. So what do I do? I cannot speak in a loud voice. I can only urge those who are in power that tomorrow you will come out. So please make sure you do something that will protect you when you are outside. I think these are valuable lessons that we need to learn, those who were in government before. Okay. That's why some people are not able to determine what? He condemns UPND. Again, he condemns PF. What's his position? Where is he? But for me, I want to tell them, I have come to terms with the reality. Okay. And I want to be objective as possible. This country can only thrive if we speak the language that is prevailing. Okay. Okay? The language that is prevailing right now, that the majority of the Zambians are suffering. That's the language that is there. Now, if you want me to come here and speak the language that, no, everything is all right, just because you have cancelled my mining license or you have cancelled my title deed, so I want that. No, that is not me. I will not do that.
So you can't be both, Honorable?
No, yeah, I can't. I would rather live with the reality. Okay. Because that's what is demand of me. Because you see, you are working, a human being was created, and the body and the mind was created to be factual. Okay. Was created to be honest. Was created to be loving. Now, any departure from those tenets of your being, you are causing havoc to your body. Okay. I've come to terms with that, and that is true. It happened to me. Okay. At one time, I used to hate when I was fired in expelled in the European. I wanted to develop a colossal hatred against the leadership. Then I suffered the high blood pressure and the stomach ulcers. Then I discovered that I think. Then I ended up forgiving everyone. I said, if I have wronged, I forgive everybody. And right now, I don't have any grudge against any individual. I don't have any hate, any individual. I leave them the way to operate the way they are, and they are good people. But what is wrong is ideas, or is their thinking. So which the thinking can be corrected. Okay? Not a human being. A human being is never wrong, because that is God himself. But the thinking itself is the one that is wrong. The thinking is the one that is the devil.
How do we change it?
by knowing that you are one with God.
Okay.
When you think that you are one with God, and God is all, and you want to live in harmony with the whole. When you want to live in harmony with the whole, then you will not injure Mr. Study or Smart.
Okay.
Because you think that if I injure, I'm injuring the part of the whole, which I'm part of, and I will not be spared of that injury. I will suffer at some point, even myself, either your body or what, because you have done something that is not in accordance with your nature.
Okay. Honorable, wisdom there coming from you. Let's make progress, Honorable. Now, those matters bring me to the fight against corruption. Now, Honorable, you and I and our viewers out there have witnessed that there is what they are calling the forfeiture law, where if somebody is suspected to have acquired property suspected to be proceeds of crime, they just forfeit part of that property and they're scot-free. How does this sit with you, Honorable? Let me find out. How
You see, the nature of things, I want to speak the nature of things, is that when you violate a law or regulations of some kind, or either universal law or human law, the issue is that when you are violated, you must suffer the consequences.
It's in white and black.
That's the way it is. When you violate the law, then you must suffer the consequences of that violation. That's why it's a law. The law in its nature is punishable. Any offense, the law must punish. You should not, because when you did it, you knew very well that you are doing a wrong thing here. And how then? You must suffer the consequences. That's the way it is. And even God does not say, no, you suffer the consequences of your actions. That's how God is.
Okay.
Yeah, you cannot do something and then you say, just for fisher, then you go scot-free. When a man and a woman who is found stealing a goat somewhere in the village, even when they have found that goat and the police is there, they will still go to court and pronounce a sentence. Why should the law be different for those who steal huge amount of money and those who steal small? I thought that the law must have relaxed for those who steal small, and those who steal big must be punished, so that because it hinges on the lives of others. He has disturbed the lives of those who are not yet born, and as such, the consequence must be there, so that those who want to involve themselves in such an activity may think twice and say, look, I don't want to make my children to disappear from my children. I want to live with my children, and I will not do this. Now, it tells me that if I am corrupt myself and get into government with such a move, what will stop me from stealing 10 billion kwacha? Because immediately I'm caught, I'll say, oh, it was 10 billion kwacha, then I forfeit 5. Meanwhile, I know that I've left some there.
Is it a good law?
No, it's obvious. Me, I've told you how the law is supposed to be.
So why are we seeing this massaging?
Why is it a law?
The law?
Why is it a law? It's a law because it has consequences of those who find against or in violation. So, for me, is that whoever is found doing a wrong thing must be punished in one way or another. By the same law, the law must provide that. And the law must be applied fairly. Those who have money and those who don't have money.
Honorable,
and those who steal a goat, and those who steal 1 kwacha, those who steal 10 billion.
Honorable, just on that one. The UPND government or administration came on the premise of upholding the rule of law. Now, many people, when the rule of law conversation is being, when you're talking about the rule of law, they feel the rule of law applies to taming down cadres because in the previous administration we saw cadres wielding so much power. So now that the UPND is there, there's the rule of law, there are no cadres. However, that's not the case. We know that. Now, Honorable, let me ask you, the rule of law, how is the rule of law under this particular administration? Especially that there's that law that you just from discussing.
Yeah, there are certain laws that they have respected, and there are certain laws that they have not, of course, which they need to as well respect, because right now, if the parliament does not operate independently of the executive, it has undue influence from the executive. The executive want to bulldoze certain things, and then you have the judiciary. Okay, the judiciary as well. You find that maybe the executive wants to influence certain decisions
from the judiciary.
Yeah, from the judiciary point of view. That means that the separation of powers. Let me speak here. I want to speak.
Please be as objective as you can.
Yes, I want to speak the truth.
The people of Zambia listen.
Yes, I want to speak the truth. Being in government, I've looked at all these government government agencies that makes up an entity called Zambia. I think there is no separation of power here.
Okay.
There is no separation of power.
It's just rhetoric.
Yeah, we are just mocking ourselves. There is no separation of power. I'm not talking about this administration, even previous administration. There is no we must, you see,
there has never been separation of power.
Never, for me, there's never been any separation of, because you see the executive, they have an influence, the speaker there in parliament. Okay.
And you are not talking about this administration.
Yes.
You are giving an example to all the successful governments.
Okay. The separation of power has never been clear.
So that you are not misquoted, Honorable.
Yes. Yes.
I just wanted to be clear so that you are not misquoted.
Yes.
Continue, Honorable.
Yeah. Me, what I'm saying that the separation of power is not there. It is in theoretical, not in practical sense. Okay? Because I'm saying that because the president or the party in government has to choose who should be the speaker.
It comes from them.
Yes, who should be the speaker.
The party in government.
The party in government.
So they choose who they want.
Yes.
They choose who they like.
No, they choose who they want.
Okay.
And in most cases, the one the government has desired to be, or whom they desire to be, takes the day.
Okay. That's how it has always been.
That's what has been there.
Okay.
That means that you will not discharge national matters in parliament, the independent. You have influences from that. If they want certain a piece of registration to go through, they will use all available means to make sure that that registration goes through, even when it's not fair to the Zambian people.
Let me ask you this question, Honorable.
Yeah.
Is this the same case with the Mopani deal, where members of parliament have quoted pieces of legislature that indicate that the Mopani deal was supposed to be passed through parliament so that it could be put to a vote? Is this the same case?
Yeah, these are one of the cases where parliament, because parliament itself is a representative of the whole country. You understand? These are people that have been chosen in various constituencies, all corners of the country, to go and make an assembly there, so that they make laws and regulation and pass registration pieces of that conveys the desires and aspirations of the Zambian people.
Okay.
And as such, in a matured democracy, that those who want the country to be governed properly, they should not start smell what is happening in parliament. They must leave parliament to work independently, because That's why they are called honorable. And you think that everything that they will do there, it will be something that will have national character or national interest.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in that case, I feel that Parliament still has a very strong influence from the executive. Go to also judiciary. They appoint.
The government of the day?
Yes, appoints the judges.
Okay.
Okay? That's the appointing authority. And even when the judges, yes, there could be organization, you know, that
submit names.
There's names or what, but they have to go to Parliament and when. Now, if they have to go to Parliament when they are appointed, why don't we have a system as well that when you want to dismiss, they must also go back to Parliament and say, look, you Parliament, your decision were not correct. Look what you gave us. You gave us this. And these are the things, these are the findings that you will find. In the process of discourse, this person has been found not to be fit to be a judge. So and then Parliament also must also sit through their own inquiry and sit and submit to the Speaker and say, look, this is the decision of the executive is correct. Or the decision of the executive is null and void as far as Parliament is concerned. And that because we have not found any fault in this particular individual. Then it means that if you are the president or you are a minister, you are what? Before you make a decision to dismiss any person, you have to consult the law.
Just from the law, Honorable, I know we are beginning to wind up, but let me throw in this question, Honorable. Is Zambia a country of strong men but overseeing weak institutions, deliberately weakened by these same individuals that are in these offices?
Yes, Zambians, we are not yet strong in mind.
Okay.
Our minds are not yet developed.
Why? Do you say
I will say so because we are too individualistic.
Okay.
Okay? We are too selfish. We don't have that common interest
as a people.
As a people.
Okay.
So you find that some of these laws that we have in Zambia, they were framed or targeted at certain individuals or to protect those who were or who are in power.
So why haven't we changed them then? Why haven't we changed
That's
them?
what I'm saying.
Why haven't we crafted our own constitution? Because reading the history of Zambia, we adopted the constitution. We did not enact or develop our own constitution, Honorable.
We have had all these commissions where law reforms has been there. From Chiruba up to the last President Lungu. There are these law reforms suggested. So look, let's reform our laws, let's change our laws. But immediately they arrive at a certain law that hinges on or that protects those in power. They backtrack. And
so it's the politicians to blame?
Well, of course, the politicians are the one who makes laws and what. So we have not, that's why I'm saying, we need now to develop our mind, to have common interest. Okay. So much so that if the executive or you are belong to the political party, your first allegiance must be to the country, not to a political party, not to the president. Okay?
Okay.
Now, it is that whatever.
Yes, continue, Honorable.
Whatever the president suggests, okay, it goes through.
Okay. So Honorable, according to you, you are saying through successful governments, there has been interference from the executive, or should we say the executive, there is no separation of power, really, from the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, and also the judiciary, executive, and legislature have never worked independently from successful governments.
No. we have seen that. Because if we are to move and achieve meaningful progress in all sphere of our society, or if the country has to move and achieve our desired goals, we must develop that honestness.
And you are speaking this as a former defense minister, Honorable.
I've seen this.
You have been there.
Some of the things that I speak are the things that I sometimes condemn myself. Why did I make such a decision? I made such a decision just to favor an individual or to
you are an accomplice.
Yeah. So these are the things. That's what experience talks about.
Okay.
Because in terms of, I will tell you that in terms of success,
yes, Honorable.
Failure is part of success. That's why they will ask you to say, do you have the experience? The other time I was interviewing somebody, I asked this one officer who wanted to get, and I asked him, have you ever failed? Or have you ever done something that you regret that you've made such a decision? He says, no, I've never failed in my life. I said,
you're not fit.
We're not fit.
Okay.
I want people who have failed at one point because they will avoid that failure at one time when they are given the opportunity to say. So what I'm speaking here is that what I'm saying is these are things that we need to come to terms with the Zambian people, that our laws, our systems must be strengthened up to the end. Okay? So much so that if one wants to make a decision, whether the minister, the director, even up to the president, must be guided how that decision may be arrived at.
Okay.
Because
what are the benefits of doing that, Honorable? Will that eliminate nepotism? Will that eliminate... what are the benefits?
It will cure a number of things. It will. That is that's one thing that has made these countries, that affluent countries, the America and these other countries that are flourishing. What they did themselves was to look at their systems.
Okay.
They know very well that you cannot trust an individual. Yeah. An individual can be tempted to do a wrong thing. But if we put a system, okay, a system that has been designed by not those in government, the system that has been designed by a gathering of people who are not in government, a composition that is mixed in its nature, which means that they will not be biased in their arriving at a conclusion. Okay? So, oftentimes, you find that these law reforms and so on and so forth, they are initiated by those in government. Okay? Now, those in government, they will look at certain wording and so on and so forth to find a loophole and then to protect themselves. Okay? And then that is why we have always, Zambians always have cried for constitutional change.
Okay. Honorable, as we conclude...
Even now, even the last government, even the Chiluba government, even the Lupia government, they were all crying because we have not yet put a system, because systems are laws, okay? They are laws because we are governed by laws.
Okay.
The universe is governed by law. If there were not law, there would be chaos.
Total chaos.
Total chaos.
Okay.
So there are laws. Even your body there.
It's governed by law.
There's a law. There's a law that the air can't go through the water, and even water can't go through the nose and what. So all these, once it does that, then there's a violation there. Then the body will suffer the consequences. So that's why I'm saying, perfecting the system, okay, is the best way forward if Zambia is to emancipate itself from all the challenges that we are facing. It's a system failure.
Okay.
It's a system failure.
System failure, and we end it at that, Honorable. On system failure, our time is done, Honorable. It's 14 hours on the dot. Time does fly, Honorable. Time does fly. System failure, that's our take home on this particular discussion, Honorable. Let me thank you more sincerely for coming through.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Okay, God
And
bless you
the
too.
listeners.
Thank you so much, Honorable. God bless you too, and thank you so much for honoring our invitation, Honorable. We do thank you, and I like your line of thought, Honorable. We need to have you again. Thank you so much.
I'll always be available. Whenever you call me, I will make myself available, because we all have a take in this entity called Zambia, and we must participate.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. And thank you, the viewers out there, for having chosen us amongst many. My guest this particular afternoon was Honorable Richard Camnet. He is the former Minister of Defense. He is now a businessman, but a fountain of wisdom, like you are just from listening and watching him right now. I have been your host, Joe Smarter is my name, on behalf of my director, Mr. Isaac Chifita, and the entire production team. It's bye-bye, and God bless.